Ye gods of wedlock, thou the nuptial couch's god,
Thou, that tamer of the deep, the Argo's pilot learned to guide his pristine bark.
Neptune,
thou
stern ruler of the ocean's depth.
And Titan,
thou
by whose rays the shining day is born.
Thou
that whose conscious beams with splendor shine upon the mystic worshippers.
Upon ye all I call, the powers of heaven, the gods by whose divinity false Jason swore, and ye, whose aid Medea may more boldly claim. Thou world of endless night, the antipodes of heavenly realms, ye damned ghosts, thou
God of Hades, the domain whose mistress was with trustier pledge won to thy side.
Before ye all, this baleful prayer I bring. Be near. Be near.
Ye crime-avenging furies, come and loose your horrid locks with serpent coils entwined.
And grasp with bloody hands the smoking torch. Be
near. As once ye stood in dread array beside my wedding couch.
Upon this new-made bride destruction sends, and death upon the king and all the royal line.
But he, my husband, may he live to meet some heavier doom? This curse I imprecate upon his head. May he, through distant lands, in want, in exile, wander scorned and houseless. Nay, may he once more my favor woo. A stranger's threshold may he seek, where now he walks a well-known guest. And this, the blackest curse I know. Oh, may children rise to him to emulate their sire, their mother's image bear. Now one is vengeance, one for your children born. Nay, 'tis empty plaints and useless words I frame. Shall I not rather rush against the foe and dash the torches from their hands, the light from heaven?
Does Father Phoebus suffer this?
Do men behold his face as seated in his car he rolls along the accustomed track of sky serene?
Why does he not return to the morning's gate, the laws of heaven reversing?
Grant that I be borne aloft in my ancestral car. Give me the reins, O sire, thy fiery team. Grant me to guide with lines of flame.
Then Corinth, though with double shore delaying fate, herself consumed with fire, shall light 2 seas with flames.
But no, This course alone remains, that I myself should bear the wedding torch with acquiescent prayers and slay the victims on the altars consecrate.
Thyself inspect the entrance, seek there the way by prayer, if still,
So
thou livest, if there still remaineth aught of old time strength in thee.
Away with women's fear. Put on thy heart a breastplate hard, and chill, Caucasus.
And all the wizard arts that Phasis knew or Pontus shall be seen again in Corinth.
Now with mad, unheard of dreadful deeds, whereat high heavens and earth below shall pale and quake.
my pregnant soul is teeming, and my heart is full of pictured wounds and death and slaughter. Too long on trifling ills I dwell. These were my virgin deeds. Now that a mother's pains I felt, my larger heart much larger crimes conceive. Oh, then, passion, gird thyself, put on thy strength, and for the issue, now, prepare! Let my rejection pay as dread a fee as when, of old, through impious deeds of blood, I came to him. Come! Break through, slow delay, and let the home once won by crime, by equal deeds of crime be done. Away!
Would God no Argo e'er had winged the seas to Colchis through the blue Symplegades. No shaft of riven pine in Pelion's glen shaped that first oar blade in the hands of men valiant, who won to save King Peleus vow the fleece all golden. Never then, I trow, mine own princess her spirit wounded sore with love of Jason, to the encastled shore had sailed of old Iolcus, never wrought the daughters of King Peleus, knowing not to spill their father's life, nor fled in fear, hunted for that fierce sin to Corinth here, with Jason and her babes. Ooh. This folk, at need, stood friend to her, and she in word and deed served alway Jason. Surely this doth bind through all ill days the hurts of humankind, when man and woman in one music move. But now the world is angry, and true love sick as with poison. Jason doth forsake my mistress and his 2 sons to make his couch in a king's chamber. He must wed with this Creon's child, who now is head and chief of Corinth, wherefore sore betrayed Medea calleth up the oath they made, they two, and wakes the clasped hands again, the troth surpassing speech, and cries amain on God in heaven to mark the end, and how Jason hath paid his debt. All fasting now, and cold, her body yielded up to pain, her days a waste of weeping she hath lain since first she knew that he was false. Her eyes are lifted not, and all her visage lies in the dust. If friends will speak, she hears no more than some dead rock or wave that beats the shore. Only the white throat, in a sudden shame, may writhe, and all alone she moans the name of father and land and home. Forsook that day for this man's sake who casteth her away, not to be quite shut out from home. Alas, she knoweth now how rare a thing that was. Methinks she hath a dread, not joy, to see her children near. 'Tis this that maketh me most tremble, lest she do I know not what. Her heart is no light thing, and useth not to brook much wrong. I know that woman, and dread her. Will she creep alone to die bleeding in that old room where still is laid Lord Jason's bed? She hath for that a blade made keen. Or slay the bridegroom and the king, and win herself goes God knows what dire a thing. 'Tis a fell spirit, few I ween shall stir her hate unscathed, or lightly humble her. 'Tis the children from the games again, rested and gay, and all their mother's pain forgotten. Young lives ever turn from gloom.
Thou, ancient treasure of my lady's room, what makest thou here before the gates alone, and alway turning on thy lips some moan of old mischances? Will our mistress be content this long time to be left by thee?
Grey guard of Jason's children, a good thrall, hath his own grief, and if any hurt befall his masters. Ay, it holds one's heart. Meseems I have strayed out so deep in evil dreams, I longed to rest me here alone, and cry Medea's wrongs to this still earth and sky.
How? Are the tears yet running in her eyes? 'Twere good to be like thee. Her sorrow lies scarce wakened yet, not half its perils wrought, mad spirit. If a woman may speak her thought of masters mad, and nothing in her ears hath sounded yet of her last cause for tears.
What cause? Oh, old maid, and grudge me not one word.
'Tis nothing. Best forget what thou hast heard.
Nay, housemaid, by thy head, hold it not hid from me. I will keep silence if thou bid.
I heard an old man talking, where he sate at draughts in the sun beside the fountain gate, and never thought of me there standing still beside him. And he said 'twas Creon's will, being lord of all this land, that she be sent, and with her 2 sons, to banishment.
What?
Maybe 'tis all false. For myself, I know no further, and I would it were not so.
But Jason will never bear it, his own son's banished, however hot his anger runs against their mother.
Old love burneth low, when new love wakes, men say. He is not now husband nor father here, nor any kin.
But this is ruin! New waves breaking in to wreck us ere we are righted in the old.
Well, hold thy peace. Our mistress will be told, all in good time. Speak thou no word thereof.
Oh, my babes, what think ye of your father's love? God curse him not, he is my master still. But oh, to them who loved him, he is an ill friend.
And what man on earth is different? How? Hast thou lived all these years, and learned but now that every man more loveth his own head than other men's? He dreameth of the bed of this new bride, thinks not of his sons.
Run into the house, my little ones. All will end happily. Keep them apart. Let not their mother meet them while her heart is darkened. Yesternight, I saw a flame stand in her eye as though she hated them, and would I know not what. For sure her wrath will never turn nor slumber till she hath... Go. And if some must suffer, oh, may it be not we who love her, but some enemy.
Now on our royal nuptials, graciously smiling, here may the lords of heaven and the deeps of the ocean come while the people feast in pious rejoicing.
First to the gods who sway the scepters of heaven, pealing forth with their voice of thunder. Let the white bulls his proud head bow in tribute.
Then to the fair Lucina her gift we offer, white as the driven snow this beautiful heifer, still with her neck untouched by the yoke of bondage.
Thou who alone canst rule the heart of the war god, thou who link'st in peace the opposing nations, out of thy generous hand abundance pouring, thee we offer a daintier gift, O Concord.
Thou who on the marriage torches attending, night dark gloom and favoring hand dispellest, hithering come languished footsteps drunken, binding thy temple fair with garlands of roses.
Star of the evening, thou who to twilight leadest the day and hailest again the dawn of the morning, all too slowly thou comest for lovers impatient, eager to see the sign in the glow of the sunset.
The fairest of girls is she, the Athenian maids outshining o'er the Spartan maiden with armor laden, no burden of war declining.
Not by Alpheus' sacred stream, nor Boeotia's musical water, is there any fair who can compare with our lovely Corinthian daughter.
Our Thessalian prince excels in beauty of form and face. Even Bacchus, the son of the fierce flaming one, who yokes the wild tigers in place.
The murmuring tripod Lord, though the fairest in heavenly story, their twins with their star brightly gleaming afar, all yield to our Jason in glory.
When in her train of courtly maidens she mingles, like the bright sunshine paling the starry splendor, or the full moonlight quenching the Pleiades' brilliance, so does she shine, O peerless of fair ones the fairest.
Now, O Jason, freed from the hateful wedlock that held thee bound to the barbarous Colchian woman, joyfully wed the fair Corinthian maiden, while at last her parents' blessings attend thee.
Oh, then youth with license just rejoicing, let the loud song gladness ring through the city. Rarely against our lords such freedom is given.
There a noble band of Bacchus doth hearses bearer. Now's the time to light the glittering torches of pine wood. Shake on high the festal fire with languishing fingers.
Now let the bold and merry festen in laughter and jesting sound through our ranks. Let Medea fare in silence and darkness, if perchance another lord she shall wed in her exile.
We are undone. How harsh upon my ears doth grate the song, and even now I cannot comprehend the vast extent of woe that hath befallen me. Could Jason prove so false? Bereft of native land and home and kingdom, could he leave me here alone on foreign shores? Oh, cruel! Could he quite reject my sum of service? He who saw the fire and sea with crime o'ercome for his dear sake! And does he think that thus the fatal chapter can be ended? Wild! Devoid of reason, sick of soul, my swift mind darts in all directions, seeking whence revenge may come. Oh, I would he had a brother, but his wife, 'gainst her be aimed the blow. Can thus my wrongs be satisfied? Nay, nay! To meet my sum of woe must be heaped high the crimes of Greece, of strange barbaric lands, and those which even thy hands have not known. Now lash thy soul with memory's scourge, and call thy dark deeds in review. The glory of thy father's kingdom reft away thy brother, guiltless comrade of thy guilty flight, all hewn in pieces, and his corpse strewn on the deep to break his royal father's heart. And last of crimes, old Peleus by his daughter slain at thy command. O impious one! What streams of blood have flowed to work thy ends, and yet not one of all my crimes by wrath was prompted. Love, ill-omened love, suggested all. Yet what could Jason else have done? Compelled to serve another's will, another's law, he should have died before he yielded to the tyrant's will. Nay, nay, thou raging passion, speak not so. For if he may, I would that Jason still may live and still be mine, as once he was. If not, yet may he still live on, and mindful of my merits live without my aid. The guilt is Creon's all, who with unbridled power dissolves the marriage bond, my children separates from me who bore them, yea, and makes the strongest pledge, though ratified with straitest oath, of none effect. Let him alone sustain my wrath. Let Creon pay the debt of guilt he owes. His palace will I bring to utter desolation. And the whirling fire to far off Malia's crags shall send its lurid glare.
Oh, be silent now, I pray thee, and thy plaints confined to secret woe. The man who heavy blows can bear in silence, biding still his time with patient soul, full oft his vengeance gains. 'Tis hidden wrath that harms, but hate proclaims oft loses half its power to harm.
But small the grief is that can counsel take and hide its head. Great ills lie not in hiding, but must rush abroad and work their will.
Oh, cease this mad complaint, my mistress. Scarce can friendly silence help thee now.
But fortune fears the brave, the faint of heart o'erwhelms.
Then valour be approved, if for it still there's room.
But it must always be that valor finds its place.
No star of hope points out the way from these our woes.
The man who hopes for naught at least has naught to fear.
The Colchians are thy foes. Thy husband's vows have failed. Of all thy vast possessions, not a jot is left.
Yet I am left! There's left both sea and land, and fire and sword, and gods and hurtling thunderbolts!
But the king must be revered.
My father was a king.
Dost thou not fear?
Not though the earth produced the foe.
But thou'lt perish.
So I wish it.
Flee!
I'm done with flight! Why should Medea flee?
Thy children!
Whose thou knowest.
And dost thou still delay?
I go! But vengeance first!
Oh, the Avenger will pursue.
Perchance I'll stop his course.
Nay, hold thy words and cease thy threats, O foolish one! Thy temper curb. 'Tis well to yield to fate's decrees.
Though fate may strip me of all myself am left.
Where's Mother, nurse?
We come to pick her purse.
Your mother, my dears, your mother is, perchance she sleeps.
Oh, shame and pain! Oh, woe is me! Would I could die in my misery!
Oh, children, hark, she moves again, her frozen heart, her sleeping wrath. So in quick, and never cross her path, nor rouse that dark eye in its pain, that fell sea spirit and the dire spring of a will, untaught, unbowed. Quick now! Methinks this weeping cloud hath in its heart some thunder fire slow gathering that must flash ere long. I know not how for ill or well it turns, this uncontrollable tempestuous spirit, blind with wrong.
Have I not suffered? Doth it call no tears? Ye beside the wall, unfathered children, God hate you, as I am hated, and him too that got you in this house and all!
Pity! What have they to do, babes, with their father's sin? Why call thy curse on these? Oh, children, all these days my bosom bleeds for you. Rude are the wills of princes, yea, prevailing alway. Seldom crossed, on fitful moods their moods are tossed. 'Tis best men tread the equal way. Aye. Oh, not with glory, but with peace may the long summers find me crowned. For gentleness, her very sound is magic, and her usages all wholesome. But the fiercely great hath little music on his road, and falleth when the hand of God shall move, most deep and desolate.
I heard a voice and a moan, a voice of the eastern seas. Hath she found not yet her ease? Speak, O aged one! For I stood afar at the gate, and there came from within a cry and wailing, desolate. But no more joy have I for the griefs this house doth see, and the love it hath wrought in me.
There is no house. 'Tis gone. The Lord seeketh a prouder bed, and she wastes in her chamber. Not one word will hear of care or charity.
O Zeus, O earth, O light, will the fire not stop my brain? What profiteth living? Shall I not lift the slow yoke, and let life go, as a beast out in the night to lie and be rid of pain?
O Zeus, O earth, O light, the cry of bridge forlorn, heard ye in wailing born of lost delight.
Why weariest thou this day, wild heart, for the bed abhorred, the cold bed in the clay? Death cometh, though no men pray, ungarlanded, unadored. Call him not thou.
Another's arms be now where thine have been. On his head be the sin. Rend not thy brow.
All that thou sufferest, God seeth. Oh, not so sore, waste nor weep not for the breast that was thine of yore.
Virgin of righteousness, Virgin of hallowed troth, ye mocked me when with an oath I bound him. Mock no less that oath's end. Give me to see him and his bride, who sought my grief when I wronged her not. Broken in misery and all her house. O God, my mother's home and the dim shore that I left for him, and the voice of my brother's blood.
Lads! Did ye hear her cry to them that guard man's faith forsworn, Themis and Zeus? This wrath newborn shall make mad workings ere it die.
Would she but come to seek our faces that love her well, and take to her heart the spell of words that speak.
Alas for the heavy hate and anger that burneth ever! Would it but now abate? Oh God, I love her yet, and surely my love's endeavour shall fail her not here.
Go from that chamber dreary, forth to the day, lead her, and say, oh, say that we love her dear.
Go, lest her hand be hard on the innocent. Ah, let be, for her grief moves hitherward like an angry sea.
That will I. Though what words of mine or love shall move her? Let them lie with the old lost labours. Yet her eye, know ye the eyes of the wild kind, the lion flash that guards their brood? So looks she now, if any thrall speak comfort or draw near at all my mistress in her evil mood.
Alas, the bold, blithe bards of old, and all for joy their music made.
Music made for feasts and dancing manifold, that life might listen and be glad.
But all the darkness and the wrong, quick death and dim ache things, would no man ease them with the song or music of 1,000 strings?
Then song had served us in our need. What profit over the banquet swell? That lingering cry that none may heed? The feast hath filled them well, all is well.
I heard a song, but it comes no more, where the tears ran over, a keen cry, but tired, tired, a woman's cry for her heart's desired, for a traitor's kiss and a lost lover.
But a prayer, methinks, yet riseth sore to God, to faith, God's ancient daughter, the faith that over sundering seas drew her to Hellas, and the breeze of midnight shivered, and the door closed of the salt unsounded water.
Women of Corinth, I am come to show my face, lest ye despise me. For I know some heads stand high and fail not even at night alone, far less like this in all men's sight. And we who study not our wayfarings, but feel and cry, oh, we are drifting things and evil. For what truth is in men's eyes, which search no heart, but in a flash despise? A strange face, shuddering back from one that ne'er hath wronged them. Sure, far comers, anywhere I know, must bow them and be gentle. Nay, a Greek himself men praise not, who alway should seek his own will, recking not, but I, this thing undreamed of, sudden from on high, hath sapped my soul. I dazzle where I stand. The cup of all life shattered in my hand, longing to die. Oh, friends, even he whom to know well was all the world to me, the man I loved, hath proved most evil. Oh, of all things upon earth that bleed and grow, a herb most bruised is woman. We must pay our store of gold, hoarded for that one day, to buy us some man's love. And lo, they bring a master of our flesh. There comes the sting of the whole shame. And then the jeopardy, for good or will, what shall that master be? Reject she cannot. And if he but stays his suit, 'tis shame on all that woman's days. So, thrown amid new laws, new places, why? 'Tis magic she must have, or prophesy. Home never taught her that. How best to guide toward peace this thing that sleepeth at her side. And she, who laboring long, shall find some way whereby her lord may bear with her, nor fray his yoke too fiercely. Blessed is the breath that woman draws, else let her pray for death. Lord, if he be wearied of the face within doors, gets him forth some merrier place, will ease his heart. But she waits on, her whole vision enchained on a single soul, and then, forsooth, 'tis they that face the call of war, while we sit sheltered, hid from all peril. Ha! False mocking! Sooner would I stand 3 times to face their battles, shield in hand, than bear one child. But peace, there cannot be ever the same tale told of thee and me. Thou hast the city, and thy father's home, and joy of friends, and hope in days to come. But I, being cityless and cast aside by him that wedded me, the savage bride, won in far seas and left, no mother near, no brother, not one kinsman anywhere. For harbor in this storm, therefore of thee I ask one thing. If chance yet ope to me some path, if even now my hand can win strength to requite this Jason for his sin, betray me not. Oh, in all things But this, I know how full of fears a woman is, and faint at need, and shrinking from the light of battle. For once spoil her of her right in man's love. There moves, I warn thee well, no bloodier spirit between heaven and hell.
I will betray thee not. It is but just thou smite him. And that weeping in the dust and stormy tears, how should I blame them? Stay! 'Tis Creon, Lord of Corinth, makes his way hither, and bears, methinks, some word of weight.
Thou, woman sullen-eyed and hot with hate against thy lord, Medea, I here command that thou and thy 2 children from this land go forth to banishment. Make no delay, seeing ourselves, the king, are come this day to see our charge fulfilled. Nor shall again look homeward ere we have led thy children twain and thee beyond our realm's last boundary.
Lost! Lost! Mine haters at the helm would sail, flung free, pursuing, and for us no beach nor shore in the endless waters. Yet, though stricken sore, I still will ask thee, for what crime, what thing unlawful wilt thou cast me out, O king?
What crime? I fear thee, woman. Little need to cloak my reasons, lest thou work some deed of darkness on my child. And in that fear reasons enough have part. Thou comest here a wise woman confessed, and full of lore in unknown ways of evil. Thou art sore in heart, being parted from thy lover's arms, and more, thou hast made menace, so the alarms but now have reached mine ear, on bride and groom and him who gave the bride, to work thy doom of vengeance, which, ere yet it be too late, I sweep aside. I choose to earn thine hate of Set will now not palter with the mood of mercy, and hereafter weep in blood.
'Tis not the first nor second time, O king, that fame hath heard me, and come nigh to bring my ruin. How can any man, whose eyes are wholesome, seek to rear his children wise beyond man's want? Much helplessness in arts of common life, and in their townsmen's hearts envy deep set. So much their learning brings. Come unto fools with knowledge of new things. They deem it vanity, not knowledge. Ay, and men that erst for wisdom were held high feel thee a thorn to fret them privily. Held higher than they, so hath it been with me. Wise woman I am, and for that sin to divers ill names men would pen me in. A seed of strife, an eastern dreamer, one of brand not theirs, one hard to play upon. Ah, I am not so wondrous wise. And now to thee I am terrible. What fearest thou? What dire deed? Do I tread so proud a path? Fear me not thou. that I should brave the wrath of princes? Thou, what hast thou ever done to wrong me? Granted thine own child to one whom thy soul chose. Ah, him out of my heart I hate, but thou, meseems, hast done thy part, not ill. And for thine house's happiness I hold no grudge. Go, marry, and God bless your issues. Only suffer me to rest somewhere within this land. Though sore oppressed, I will be still, knowing mine own defeat.
Thy words be gentle, but I fear me yet lest even now there creep some wickedness deep hid within thee.
No.
And for that the less I trust thee now than ere these words began. A woman quick of wrath, aye, or a man is easier watching than the cold and still. Up straight and find thy road. Mock not my will with words. This doom is past beyond recall, nor all thy crafts shall help thee, being with all my manifest foe, to linger at my side.
Oh, by thy knees, by the new-wedded bride!
'Tis waste of words. Thou shalt not weaken me.
Wilt hunt me, spurn me, when I kneel to thee!
'Tis mine own house that kneels to me, not thou.
Home, my lost home, how I desire thee now!
And I mine and my child beyond all things.
O loves of men, what curse is on thy wings?
A blessing or curse, 'tis as their chances flow.
Remember Zeus, the cause of all this woe.
Rid me of thy pains. Get thee gone.
What would I with thy pains? I have mine own.
Up or for God, my soldiers they shall fling.
Not that I do, but pray, O king.
Thou wilt not, I must face the harsher task.
Oh, I accept mine exile, 'tis not that I ask.
Oh, why then so wild, why clinging to mine hand?
For one day only, leave me in thy land at peace, to find some counsel ere the strain of exile fall, some comfort for these twain, mine innocence. Since others take no thought, it seems, to save the babes that they begot. Thou wilt pity them. Thou also art a father. Thou hast somewhere still a heart that feels. I reck not of myself. 'Tis they that break me, fallen upon such a dire day.
Mine is no tyrant's mood. Ay, many a time ere this my tenderness hath marred the chime of wisest counsels. And I know that now I do mere folly. But so be it. Thou shalt have this grace. But this I warn thee clear. If once the morrow's sunlight find thee here within my borders, thee or child of thine, thou diest. Of this judgment not a line shall waver nor abate. So linger on if thou needs must, till the next risen sun. No further. And one day there scarce can be those perils wrought whose dread yet haunteth me.
Woman of sorrow, where wilt thou turn and flee? What town shall be thine tomorrow? What land of all lands that be? What door of a strange man's home? Yea, God hath hunted thee, Medea, forth to the foam of a trackless sea.
Defeat on every side. What else? But oh, not here the end is. Think it not. I know. For bride and groom, one battle yet untried, and goodly pains for him that gave the bride. Dost dream I would have grovelled to this man, save that I won mine end and shaped my plan for merry deeds? My lips have never deigned speak word with him, my flesh been never stained with touching. Fool! Oh, triple fool! It lay so plain for him to kill my whole essay by exile swift. And lo, he sets me free this one long day wherein mine haters three shall lie here dead. The father and the bride and husband. Mine, not hers. Oh, I have tried so many thoughts of murder to my turn, I know not which best likes me. Shall I burn their house with fire, or stealing past unseen to Jason's bed, I have a blade made keen for that. Stab breast to breast that wedded pair. Good, but for one thing, when I am taken there and killed, they will laugh loud who hate me. Nay! I love the old way best. The simple way of poison, where we two are strong as men. Me. And they, being dead, what place shall hold me then? What friend shall rise with land inviolate and trusty doors to shelter from their hate this flesh? None. Anywhere. A little more I need must wait, and if there ope some door of refuge, some strong tower to shield me good in craft and darkness, I will hunt this blood. Else, if mine hour be come and no hope high, then sword in hand, full-willed and sure to die, I yet will live to slay them. I will wend manlike their road of daring to the end. So help me, she who of all gods hath been the best to me, of all my chosen queen and helpmate, Hecate, who dwells apart the flame of flame in my fire's inmost heart. For all their strength then shall not starve my soul, and laugh thereafter, dark and full of dole their bridal feast shall be. Most dark the day they joined their hands and hunted me away. Awake thee now, Medea! Oh, whatso plot thou hast or cunning, strive and falter not. On to the peril point. Now comes the strain of daring. Shall they trample thee again? How? And with Hellas laughing o'er thy fall, while this thief's daughter weds, and weds withal Jason. A true king was thy father, yea, and born of the ancient sun. Thou knowest the way, and God hath made thee woman, things most vain for help, oh, but wondrous in the path of pain.
Back streams the wave on the ever-running river. Life is changed, and the laws of it o'ertrod. Man shall be the slave, the affrighted, the low liver. Man hath forgotten God.
And women, yeah, women shall be terrible in story. The tales to me seem it shall be other than of yore. For fear there is that cometh out of woman and a glory, and the hard-hating voices shall encompass her no more.
The old bars shall cease, and their memory that linger of frail brides and faithless shall be shriveled as with fire. For they loved us not, nor knew us, and our lips were dumb, our fingers could not wake the secret of the lyre.
Else, O God the singer, I had sung amid their rages a long tale of man and his deeds for good and ill. But the old world knoweth 'tis the speech of all the ages. Man's wrong and ours he knoweth and is still.
Forth from thy father's home thou camest, O heart of fire, to the dark blue rocks, to the clashing foam, to the seas of thy desire.
Until the dark blue bar was crossed, and lo, by an alien river, standing thy lover lost, void down forever.
Forth yet again, O lowest of landless women, a ranger of desolate ways, thou goest from the walls of the stranger.
And the great oath waxeth weak, and ruth as a thing outstriven is fled from the shores of the Greek, away on the winds of heaven.
Dark is the house afar, where an old king called thee daughter. All that was once thy star in stormy water.
Dark and low in the nearer house that was sworn to love thee, another queenlier, dearer, is throned above thee.
Oft have I seen, in other days than these, how a dark temper maketh maladies no friend can heal. 'Twas easy to have kept both land and home. It needed but to accept unstrivingly the pleasure of our lords. But thou, for mere delight in stormy words, wilt lose all. Now thy speech provokes not me. Rail on. Of all mankind let Jason be most evil. None shall check thee. But for these dark threats cast out against the majesties of Corinth, count as veriest gain thy path of exile. I myself, when princely wrath was hot against thee, strove with all goodwill to appease the wrath, and wished to keep thee still beside me. But thy mouth would never stay from vanity, blaspheming night and day our masters. Therefore thou shalt fly the land. Yet even so I will not hold my hand from succouring mine own people. Here I am, to help thee, woman, pondering heedfully thy new state. For I would not have thee flung provisionless away, ay, and the young children as well, nor lacking aught that will of mine can bring thee. Many a lesser ill hang on the heels of exile. Ay, and though thou hate me, dream not that my heart can know or fashion aught of angry will to thee.
Evil. Most evil. Since thou grantest me that comfort, the worst weapon left me now to smite a coward. Thou comest to me, thou, mine enemy. Oh, say, how call ye this, to face and smile the comrade whom his kiss betrayed? Scorn, insult, courage, none of these. 'Tis but of all man's inward sicknesses the vilest that he knoweth not of shame nor pity. Yet I praise him that he came. To me it shall bring comfort, once to clear my heart on thee, and thou shalt wince to hear. I will begin with that twixt me and thee. That thing that first befell, I saved thee. I saved thee. Let thine own Greeks be witness, everyone that sailed on Argo, saved thee, sent alone to yoke with yokes the bulls of fiery breath, and so that acre the lords of the death, and mine own ancient serpent, who did keep the golden fleece, the eyes that knew not sleep, and shining coils, him also did I smite dead for thy sake, and lifted up the light that bade thee live. Myself uncounseled, stole forth from father and from home, and fled where dark Iolcus under Pelion lies. With thee, oh, single-hearted more than wise, I murdered Peleus, yea, in agony, by his own daughter's hands, for sake of thee. I swept their house like war, and hast thou then accepted all, oh, evil yet again, and cast me off, and taken thee for bride another, and with children at thy side? One could forgive a childless man, but no, I have borne thee children. A sworn faith, so low and weak a thing, I understand it not. Are the old gods dead? Are the old laws forgot, and new laws made? Since not my passioning, but thine own heart doth cry thee for a thing forsworn. Poor right hand of mine, whom he did cling to, and these knees so cravingly. We are unclean, thou and I. We have caught the stain of bad men's flesh and dreamed our dreams in vain. Thou comest to befriend me? Give me then thy counsel. 'Tis not that I dream again for good from thee, but question thou wilt show the viler. Say, now, whither shall I go? Back to my father? Him I did betray in all his land when we two fled away. To those poor Peliad maids, ho, for them 'twere good to take me in, who spilled their father's blood. Aye, so my whole life stands, there were at home who loved me well. To them I am become a curse, and the first friends who sheltered me, whom most I should have spared, pleasure, thee I have turned to foes. Therefore hast thou laid my crown upon me, blessed of many a maid in Hellas. Now I have won what all did crave, thee. The world wondered lover and the brave, who this day looks and sees me banished, thrown away with these two babes, all alone. Oh, merry mocking when the lamps are red, where go the bridegroom's babes to beg their bread in exile, and the woman who gave all to save him? Great God, shall gold withal bear thy clear mark to sift the base and fine, and o'er man's living visage runs no sign to show the lie within, ere all too late?
Dire and beyond all healing is the hate when hearts that loved are turned to enmity.
In speech at least, meseemeth I must be not evil. But as some old pilot goes furled to his sail's last edge when danger blows too fiery, run before the wind and swell, woman, of thy loud storms. And thus I tell my tale, since thou wilt build so wondrous high thy deeds of service in my jeopardy. To all my crew and quest I know but one Saviour, of gods or mortals one alone, Cyprian. Thou hast both brain and wit, yet underneath, nay, all the tale of it were graceless telling. How sheer love, a fire of poisoned shafts, compelled thee with desire to save me. But enough. I will not score that count too close. 'Twas good help, and therefore I give thee thanks, howe'er the help was wrought. Howbeit, in my deliverance thou hast got far more than given. A good Greek land hath been thy lasting home, not Barbary. Thou hast seen our ordered life, and justice, and the long still grasp of law, not changing with the strong man's pleasure. And all Hellas, far and near, have learned of thy wisdom, and in every ear thy fame is. Had thy days run by unseen on that last edge of the world, where then had been the story of great Medea? Thou and I? What worth to us were treasures heaped high in rich kings' rooms? What worth a voice of gold more sweet than ever from Orpheus old, unless our deeds have glory. Speak I so. Touching the quest I wrought, thyself did throw the challenge down. Next for thy cavilling of wrath at mine alliance with a king, here thou shalt see I was both wise and free from touch of passion, and a friend for thee most potent. And my children.
Oh.
Nay, be still. When first I stood in Corinth, clogged with ill from many desperate mischance, what bliss could I that day have dreamed of like to this, to wed a king's daughter, I exiled and beggared? Not what makes thy passion wild from loathing of thy bed, not overfraught with love for this new bride. Not that I sought to upbuild mine house with offspring, 'tis enough what thou hast borne, I make no word thereof. But first and greatest, that we all might dwell in a fair house and want not, knowing well that poor men have no friends, far and near shunning and silence. Next I sought to rear our sons in nurture worthy of my race, and raising brethren to them in one place, join both my houses, and be all from now prince-like and happy. What more need hast thou of children? And for me it serves my star to link in strength the children that now are with those that shall be. Have I counselled ill? Not thine own self wouldst say it, couldst thou still 1 hour thy jealous flesh. 'Tis ever so. Yet who looks for more in women? When the flow of love runs plain, why, all the world is fair, but once there falls some ill chance anywhere, to balk that thirst, down in swift hate are trod men's dearest aims and noblest. Would to God we mortals by some other seed could raise our fruits, and no blind women block our ways. Then had there been no curse to wreck mankind.
Lord Jason, very subtly hast thou twined thy speech, but yet, though all athwart thy will I speak, this is not well thou dost, but ill betraying her who loved thee and was true.
Surely, I have my thoughts, and not a few have held me strange. To me it seemeth, when a crafty tongue is given to evil men, 'tis like to wreck, not help them. Their own brain tempts them with lies, to dare and dare again, till, no man hath enough of subtlety. As thou, be not so seeming fair to me, nor deft of speech. 1 word will make thee fall. Wert thou not false, 'twas thine to tell me all, and charge me help thy marriage path, as I did love thee. Not befool me with a lie.
An easy task that had been. Ay, and thou a loving aid, who canst not even now still that loud heart that surges like a tide.
That moved thee not. Thine old barbarian bride, the dog out of the east, who loved thee sore, she grew grey-haired, she served thy pride no more.
You understand, for once, the girl to me is nothing. In this web of sovereignty I hold, I do but seek to save, even yet, thee. And for brethren to our sons beget young kings, to prosper all our lives again.
God shelter me from prosperous days of pain and wealth that maketh wounds upon my heart.
Wilt thou change that prayer, and choose a wiser part?
No.
Pray not to hold true sense for pain, nor rate thyself unhappy being too fortunate.
Ay, mock me! Thou hast where to lay thine head, but I go naked to mine exile.
Tread thine own path, thou hast made it all to be.
How? By seducing and forsaking thee.
By those vile curses on the royal halls let loose.
Woe on thy house also, as chance falls. I am a living gas!
Oh, peace! Enough of these vain wars, I will no more thereof. if thou wilt take from me all that I possess, aid for these babes, and thine own helplessness of exile, speak thy bidding! Here I stand, full will to succour thee with stintless hand, and send my signet to old friends that dwell on foreign shores, who will entreat thee well. Refuse, and thou shalt do a deed most vain. But cast thy rage away, and thou shalt gain much and lose little for thine anger's sake.
I will not seek thy friends. I will not take thy givings. Give them not! Fruits of a stem unholy bring no blessing after them.
Now God in heaven be witness. All my heart is willing in all ways to do its part for thee and for thy babes. But nothing good can please thee. In sheer savageness of mood thou drivest from thee every friend. Wherefore I warrant thee, thy pains shall be the more.
Go. Thou art weary for the new delight thou wooest, so long tarrying out of sight of her sweet chamber. Go! Fulfill thy bride, O bridegroom, for it may be such a bride shall wait thee. Yea, God heareth me in this, as thine own heart shall sicken ere it kiss.
Alas, the love that falleth like a flood, strong-winged and transitory. Why praise ye him? What beareth he of good to man, or glory?
Yet love there is that moves in gentleness, heart-filling sweetest of all powers that bless.
Loose not on me, O hoarder of man's heart, thy golden quiver, nor steep in poison of desire that dart, that heals not ever.
The pent hate of the word that cavilleth, the strife that hath no fill, where once was fondness, and the mad heart's breath for strange love panting still.
O Cyprin, cast me not on these, but sift keen-eyed of love the good and evil gift.
Make innocence, my friend, God's fairest star. Ye and abate not the rare sweet beat of bosoms without war, that love and hate not.
Home of my heart, land of my own, cast me not, nay, for pity, out on my ways, helpless alone, where the feet fail in mire and stone.
A woman without a city. Not that.
Not. Better the end, the green grave cover me rather, if a break must come in the days I know, and the skies be changed in the earth below, for the weariest road that man may wend is forth from the home of his father.
Oh, we have seen. 'Tis not a song, sung nor learned of another.
For whom hast thou in thy direst wrong? For comfort?
Never a city strong to hide thee, never a brother.
Ah, but the man.
Cursed be he
Cursed beyond recover.
who openeth, shattering, seal by seal, a friend's clean heart, then turns his heel, deaf unto love.
Never in me friend shall he know, nor lover.
Have joy, Medea. 'Tis the homeliest word old friends can greet with, and the best.
Oh, joy on thee too, Aegeus, gentle king of Athens. But whence comest thou journeying?
Oh, from Delphi now, in the olden cavern stair.
Where earth's heart speaks in song. What matest thou there?
Prayed heaven for children, the same search alway.
Children? Oh, God, are childless to this day.
So God hath willed, childless and desolate.
What word did Phoebus speak to change thy fate?
Riddles, too hard for mortal man to read.
Which I may hear.
Oh, assuredly, they need a rarer wit.
How said he?
Not to spill life's wine, nor seek for more.
Until
I tread the hearthstone of my sires of yore.
And what should bring thee here by Creon's shore?
Oh, one Pythias, knowest thou, high lord of Trojan?
Aye, Pelops' son. A man most pure of sin.
Him I would ask, touching Apollo's will.
Much use in God's way hath he, and much skill.
And long years back he was my battle friend, the truest e'er man had.
Well, may God send good hap to thee, and grant all thy desire.
But thou, thy frame is wasted, and the fire dead in thine eyes.
Aegeus, my husband, is the falsest man in the world.
What word is this? Say clearly what thus makes thy visage dim.
He is false to me, who never injured him.
What hath he done? Show all that I may see.
Paid him a wife. A wife set over me to rule this house.
He hath not dared to do, Jason, a thing so shameful.
Aye, 'tis true. And those he loved of yore have no place now.
Some passion sweepeth o'er him, or is it thou he turns from?
Passion, passion, to betray his dearest.
Shame be his, so fallen away from honour.
Passion, to be near a throne, a king's heir.
How? Who gives the bride? Say on.
Creon, who o'er all Corinth standeth chief.
Woman, thou hast indeed much cause for grief.
'Tis ruin, and they have cast me out as well.
Who? 'Tis a new wrong this, and terrible.
Creon the king, from every land and shore.
And Jason suffers him? Oh, 'tis too sore.
He loveth to bear bravely ills like these. Oh, but Aegeus, by thy beard, oh, by thy knees, I pray thee, and I give me for thine own, thy suppliant, pity me, oh, pity one so miserable. Thou never wilt stand there and see me cast out, friendless to despair. Give me a home in Athens, by the fire of thine own hearth. Oh, so may thy desire of children be fulfilled of God, and thou die happy. Thou canst not know, even now thy prize is won. I will make of thee a childless man no more. The seed shall be, I swear it, sown. Such magic herbs I know.
Woman, indeed my heart goes forth to show this help to thee. First, for religion's sake, then, for thy promised hope, to heal my ache of childlessness. This hath made mine whole life as a shadow, and starved out my soul. But thus it stands with me. Once make thy way to Attic earth, I, as in Lord I may, will keep thee and befriend. But in this land, where Creon rules, I may not raise my hand to shelter thee. Move of thine own essay, to seek my house, there thou shalt always stay, inviolate, never to be seized again. But come thyself from Corinth, I would fain, even in foreign eyes, be always just.
'Tis well. Give me an oath wherein to trust, and all that man can ask thou hast granted me.
Dost trust me not? Or what thing troubleth thee?
I trust thee, but so many far and near do hate me. All King Peleus' house, and here Creon. Once bound by oaths and sanctities, thou canst not yield me up for such as these, to drag me from Athens. But a spoken word, no more, to bind thee, which no god hath heard. The embassies methinks would come and go, they all are friends to thee. Ah, me I know, thou wilt not list to me. So weak am I, and they fulfilled with gold and majesty.
Methinks 'tis a fair, far foresight, this thine oath. Still, if thou so wilt have it, I am nothing loath to serve thee. Mine own hand is so the stronger if I have this plea to show thy persecutors, and for thee, withal, the bond more sure. On what god shall I call?
Swear by the earth thou treadest, by the sun, sire of my sires, oh, and all the gods as one.
To do what thing or not do? Make all plain.
Never thyself to cast me out again, nor let another, whatsoe'er his plea, take me while thou yet livest and art free.
Never. So hear me, earth. And the great star of daylight, and all other gods that are.
Oh! 'Tis well! And if thou falter from thy vow,
God's judgment on the godless break my brow.
go! Go thy ways, rejoicing! All is bright and clear before me. Go, and ere the night myself will follow. When the deed is done I purpose, and the end I thirst for, one.
Farewell.
And Maya's guiding sun back lead thee to thy hearth and fire, Aegeus.
And all the long desire that wasted thee at last be won.
Our eyes have seen thee as thou art, a gentle and righteous heart.
God and God's justice, and ye blinding skies, at last the victory doth! Yea, mine eyes see, and my foot is on the mountain's brow. Mine enemies, oh now, atonement cometh! Ah, here at my worst hour a friend is found, a very port of power to save my shipwreck. Here will I make fast mine anchor and escape them at the last in Athens' walled hill. But ere the end, 'tis meet I show thee all my counsel, friend. Take it! No tale to make men laugh withal. Straightway to Jason I will send some thrall to entreat him to my presence. Comes he here, then with soft reason will I feed his ear. How his will now is my will, how all things are well, touching this marriage bed of kings for which I am betrayed. All wise and rare and profitable. Yet will I make one prayer, that my 2 children be no more exiled, but stay. Oh, not that I would leave a child here upon angry shores till those who have laughed, who hate me, 'tis that I will slay by craft the king's daughter. With gifts they shall be sent, gifts to the bride to spare their banishment. Fine robings and a carcanet of gold, which raiment let her once but take and fold about her a foul death. That girl shall die, and all who touch her in her agony, such poison shall they drink my robe and wreath. Howbeit, of that no more. I gnash my teeth thinking on what a path my feet must tread hereafter. I shall lay those children dead, mine whom no hand shall steal from me away. Then, leaving Jason childless, and the day as night above him, I will go my road to exile, flying from the blood of those my best beloved, and having wrought all horror. So but one thing reach me not, a laugh of them that hate us. Let it come! What profits life to me? I have no home, no country now, no shield from any wrong. That was my evil hour, when down the long halls of my father out I stole, my will chained by a Greek man's voice, who still, oh still, if God yet live, shall all requited be. For never child of mine shall Jason see hereafter living, never child beget from his new bride, who this day, desolate, even as she made me desolate, shall die, shrieking amid my poisons. Names have I among your folk, one light, one weak of hand, an eastern dreamer. Nay, but with the brand of strange cerns burned my hate, by God above! A perilous thing and passing sweet, my love, for these it is that make life glorious.
Since thou hast bared thy fell intent to us, I, loving thee and helping in their need man's laws, adjure thee, dream not of this deed.
There is no other way. I pardon thee thy littleness, who art not wronged like me.
Canst not kill the fruit thy body bore.
Yes, and if the man I hate be pained the more.
And thou made miserable, most miserable.
Oh, let it come! All words of good or ill are wasted now! Ho! Woman, get thee gone, and lead Lord Jason hither. There is none like thee to work me these high services. But speak no word of what my purpose is, as thou art faithful, thou, and bold to try all succors in a woman even as I.
The sons of Erechtheus, the Olden, whom high gods planted of yore in an old land of heaven upholden,
A proud land untrodden of war.
they are hungered, and lo, their desire with wisdom is fed as with meat.
In their skies is a shining of fire, a joy in the fall of their feet.
And thither with manifold dowers from the north, from the hills, from the morn, the muses did gather their powers, that a child of the nine should be born.
And harmony, swollen as the flowers, grew gold in the acres of corn.
And Cepheus, the fair-flowing river, the Cyprian dipping her hand, had drawn of his dew, and the shiver of her touches as joy in the land.
For her breathing is fragrances written, and in music her path as she goes. And the clouds of her hair, it is litten with stars of the wind-woven rose.
So fareth she ever and ever,
And forth of her bosom is blown
as dews on the winds of the river.
an hunger of passions unknown, strong loves of all godlike endeavour, whom wisdom shall throne on her throne.
But Cepheus, the fair-flowing, will he bear thee on his shore?
Shall the lands that succours all succours thee, who art foul among thy kind, with the tears of children blind?
Dost thou see the red gash growing thine own burden? Dost thou see?
Every sight, every way, lo, we kneel to thee and pray.
By thy knees, by thy soul, O woman wild!
One at least thou canst not slay, not thy child!
Hast thou ice that thou shalt bind it to thy breast and make thee dead to thine children, to thine own spirit's pain?
When the hands know what it dares,
When thine eyes look into theirs,
Shalt thou keep by tears unblinded thy dividing of the slain?
these be deeds
Not for thee,
These be things that
cannot be.
be.
thy babes, though thine hardihood be fell, when they cling about thy knee, will all be well?
Well,
will all be well.
I answer to thy call. Though full of hate thou be, I yet will not so far abate my kindness for thee, nor refuse mine ear. Say in what new desire thou hast called me here.
Jason, I pray thee, for my words but now spoken, forgive me. My bad moods, oh, thou at least will strive to bear with them. There be many old deeds of love twixt me and thee. Lo, I have reasoned with myself apart and chidden. Why must I be mad, O heart of mine, and raging against one whose word is wisdom, making me a thing abhorred to them that rule the land, and to mine own husband, who doth but that which being done will help us all, to wed a queen and get young kings for brethren to my sons. And yet I rage alone. I cannot quit my rage. What aileth me? When God sends harborage so simple, have I not my children? Know I not we are but exiles, and must go, beggared and friendless else? Thought upon thought so pressed me, till I knew myself full fraught of bitterness of heart and blinded eyes. So now I give thee thanks, and hold thee wise to have caught this anchor for our aid. The fool was I, who should have been thy friend, thy tool, gone wooing with thee, stood at thy bedside, serving and welcome duteously thy bride. But as we are. I will not say mere evil women, and make thee like some evil thing, childish to meet my childish fashioning? See? I surrender and confess that then I had bad thoughts, but now have turned again and found my wiser mind. Ho, children, run quickly, come hither out into the sun, and greet your father. Welcome him with us, and throw quite away, as mother does, your anger against one so dear. Our peace is made, and all the old bad war shall cease forever. Go and take his hand.
Mother! Mother! What's wrong?
Will ye hear my quick song? It will give thee delight.
And will make you smile bright.
Oh, me, I'm full of hidden horrors. Shall it be a long time more, my children, that ye live, to reach to me those dear arms? Forgive. I am so ready with my tears today, then full of dread, I sought to smooth away the long strife with your father. And lo, now I have all drowned with tears this little brow.
Woman, indeed I praise thee now, nor say ill of thine other hour. 'Tis nature's way. A woman needs must stir herself to wrath when work of marriage by so strange a path crosseth her lord. But thou, thine heart doth wend the happier road. Thou hast seen ere quite the end what choice must needs be stronger, which to do shows a wise-minded woman. And for you, children, your father never has forgot your needs. If God but help him, he hath wrought a strong deliverance for your weakness. Yea, I think you with your brethren yet one day shall be the mightiest voices in this land. You grow tall and strong. Your father's hand guideth all else, and whatso power divine hath always helped him. Ah, may it to see you yet in manhood, stern of brow, strong-armed, yet high o'er those that hate me. How? Woman, thy face is turned, thy cheek is swept with pallor of strange tears, does not accept gladly and of good will my benisons?
'Tis nothing. Thinking of these little ones.
Hard then, I will guard them from all ill.
I do take heart. Thy word I never will mistrust. Alas, a woman's bosom bears but woman's courage, a thing born for tears.
What ails thee? All too sore thou weepest there.
I was their mother. When I heard thy prayer of long life for them, there swept over me a horror, wondering how these things shall be. But for the matter of my need that thou should speak with me, part I have said, and now will finish. Seeing it is the king's behest to cast me out from Corinth, aye, and best, far best for me, I know it, not to stay longer to trouble thee and those who sway the realm, being held to all their house of foe. Behold, I spread my sails and meekly go to exile. But our children, could this land be still their home a while? Could thine own hand but guide their boyhood? Seek the king and pray his pity that he bid thy children stay.
He is hard to move, yet surely 'twere well done.
Bid her, for thy sake, for a daughter's boon.
Well thought. Her I can fashion to my mind.
Surely. She is a woman like her kind. Yet I will aid thee in thy labor. I will send thee gifts. Oh, the fairest gifts that is in the hands of men. Things of the days of old. Fine robings and a carcanet of gold by the boy's hands. Go, quick, some handmaiden, and fetch the raiment. Oh, her cup shall then be filled indeed. What more should woman crave, being wed with thee, the bravest of the brave? And girt with raiment, which of old the sire of all my house, the sun gave, steeped in fire to his own fiery race. Come, children, just lift with heed these caskets. Bear them as your gift to her, being bride and princess, and of right blessed. I think she will not hold them light.
Bondwoman, why wilt thou empty thus thine hand of treasure? Doth King Creon's castle stand in stint of raiment, or in stint of gold? Keep these, and make no gift. For if she hold Jason of any worth at all, I swear chattels like these will not weigh more with her.
Oh, chide me not! 'Tis written, gifts persuade the gods in heaven. And gold is stronger made than words innumerable to bend men's ways. Fortune is hers. God maketh great her days. Young and a crowned queen. And banishment for these two babes. I would not gold spent, but life's blood ere that come. My children, go forth into these rich halls, and bowing low, beseech your father's bride, whom I obey. Ye be not of her mercy cast away, exiled. And give the caskets. Oh, above all, mark this. To none but her. To hold withal and keep. Go quick! And let your mother know soon the good tidings that she longs for. Go!
I have no more hope of the children living. No hope more. They are gone forth unless
The bride,
Oh,
she taketh the poison of their
the
giving.
bride taketh the
She
poison of
taketh
their
the
giving.
brown gold and openeth the crown. The crown she lifteth upon her brow, where the light brown curls are clustered. No hope now.
No, no.
Oh, sweet and cloudy gleam of the garments golden, the robe it had clasped her breast and the crown of her head. Then she decketh the bride as a bride of olden story, that goeth pale to the kiss of the dead.
The ring hath closed, the portion of death is here, and she flieth not, but perisheth unaware.
Oh, bride,
Oh, bridegroom!
it's so cold.
Art thou wed with princes?
Art thou girt with gold?
Who knows not suing for thy child's undoing, and on her thou lovest for a doom untold. How art thou fallen from thy place of old?
Oh, mother,
Mother.
mother, what hast thou to reap when the harvest cometh between wake and sleep?
For a heart unslaken,
For a troth forsaken.
No babes that call thee from a bloody deep, and thy love returns not.
Get thee forth and weep.
ye
Mistress, these children, from their banishment, are spared. The royal bride hath mildly bent her hand to accept thy gifts, and all is now peace for the children. Why standest thou confounded when good fortune draweth near?
Oh God!
This times not with the news I bear.
Oh God! Have mercy!
Is some word of wrath here hidden that I knew not of? And hath my hope to give thee joy so cheated me?
Thou givest what thou givest. I blame not thee.
Thy brows are all o'ercast, thine eyes are filled.
For bitter need, old maid, the gods have willed, and my own evil mind, that this should come.
Take heart. Thy sons one day will bring thee home.
Home! I have others to send home. Woe's me!
Be patient. Many a mother before thee hath parted from her children. We poor things of men must needs endure what fortune brings.
I will endure. Go thou within, and lay all ready that my sons may need today. Oh! 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 Children, children mine, and you have found a land and a home, leaving me discrowned and desolate. Forever you will stay, motherless children, and I go my way to other lands, an exile, ere you bring your fruits home, and I see you prospering, or know your brides, or deck the bridal bed, all flowers, and lift your torches overhead. Cursed be mine own hard heart. 'Twas all in vain that I reared you up so tall and fair. In vain I bore you. Oh, I was torn with those long pitiless pains when you were born. Wondrous hopes my poor heart had in you. How you would tend me in mine age, and do the shroud about me with your own dear hands. And I lay cold, blessed in all the lands that knew us. And that gentle thought is dead. You go, and I live on to eat the bread of long years. To myself most full of pain. and never your dear eyes never again shall see your mother. Far away, being thrown to other shapes of life. My babes! My own! Why gaze ye so? What is it that ye see and laugh with that last laughter? Woe is me! What shall I do? Women, my strength is gone. Gone like a dream. Since once I looked upon those shining faces, I can do it not. Goodbye to all the thoughts that burn so hot aforetime. I will take and hide them far, far from men's eyes. Why should I seek a war so blind? By these babes' wounds to sting again their father's heart and win myself a pain twice deeper? Never! Never. I forget henceforth all I labored for. And yet, what is it with me? Would I be a thing mocked at and leave mine enemies to sting unsmitten? It must be. Coward heart, ever to harbor such soft words. Depart out of my sight, you twain! And they, whose eyes shall hold it sin to share my sacrifice, on their heads be it. My hand shall swerve not. On our wrath within me, do not thou, do not! Down, down, thou tortured thing, and spare my children! They will dwell with us, they're far off, and give them peace! Too late. Too late. By all hell's living agonies of hate, they shall not take my little ones alive to make their mock with. Howsoe'er I strive, the thing is doomed. It shall not escape now from being. The crown is on the brow, and the robe girt, and in the robe that high queen, dying. I know all, yet, seeing that I must go longer journey, and these twain a longer yet, and darker, I would fain speak with them ere I go. Come, children, stand a little from me there. Reach out your hand, your right hand, so, to mother. And goodbye. Oh, darling hand, oh, darling mouth and eye, and royal mien and bright, brave faces clear. May you be blessed, but not here. What here was yours, your father stole. Oh, God! The glow of cheek on cheek, the tender touch. And oh, sweet scent of childhood. Go! Go! Am I blind? My eyes cannot see. When I look to find their places, I am broken by the wings of evil. Yea, I know to what bad things I go. But louder than all thought doth cry, anger! Which maketh a man's worst misery.
My thoughts have roamed cloudy land and heard a fierier music fall than woman's heart should stir withal. Yet some muse majestical, unknown, hath hold of woman's hand, seeking for wisdom, not in all.
A feeble seed, a scattered band, thou yet shalt find in lonely places, not dead among us, nor our faces turned away from the Muses' call.
And thus my thoughts would speak.
That she who nearer hath borne a child, nor known is nearer to felicity.
Let she do it, and alone, with little understanding what a child's touch means of joy or woe. And many toils she beareth not.
But they within whose garden fair that gentle plant hath blown,
They go deep-written all their days with care, to rear their children, to make fast their hold, to win them wealth.
And then much darkness, if the seed at last bear fruit in good or evil men.
and one thing at the end of all abiddeth, that which all men dread.
The wealth is won, the limbs are bred to manhood, and the heart withal honest.
And lo, where fortune smiles, some change, and what hath fallen? Hark!
'Tis death's slow winged to the dark, and in his arms what was thy child?
What therefore doth it bring of gain to man, whose cup stood full before, that God should send this one thing more of hunger and of dread, a door set wide to every wind of pain?
Friends, this long hour I wait on fortune's eyes, and strain my senses in a hot surmise what passeth on that hill. Ha! Even now there comes, 'tis one of Jason's people, I trow. Her wild, perturbed breath doth warrant me the tidings of some strange calamity.
Lo! All is lost! The kingdom totters from its base. The daughter and the father lie in common dust.
Thy wife's
Never
taken.
taken.
By gifts, the common snare of kings.
What harm could lurk in them?
Harm could lurk in them.
Equal doubt I stand, and though my eyes proclaim the dreadful deed is done, I scarce can trust their witness.
What the mode
of death?
What the mode of death?
Devouring flames consume the palace at the will of her who sent them. There complete destruction reigns, while men do tremble for the very city's doom.
Let
water quench the fire.
Nay, here is added wonder. The copious streams of water feed the deadly flames, and opposition only fans their fiery rage to whiter heat. The very bulwarks feel their power. Oh, dire and ghastly deed! Get thee away, Medea! Fly! Nor let behind thee stay one chariot's wing, one keel that sweeps the seas.
And what hath chanced to cause such flights as these?
The maiden princess lieth, and her sire, the king, both murdered by thy poison fire.
Most happy tiding, which thy name prefers henceforth among my friends and well-wishers.
What sayest thou? Woman, is thy mind within clear? And not raving, thou art found in sin most bloody, wrought against the king's high head. And laughest at the tale, and hast no dread?
I have words also that could answer well thy word. But take thine ease, good friend, and tell, how died they? Hath it been a very foul death, prithee? Thou wert comfort to my soul.
Thou wilt not meet love's coming with unkindness. Nay, refrain thy suddenness, and turn thy face again, holding as friends all that to me are dear, thine husband, and accept these robes they bear as gifts, and beg thy father to unmake his doom of exile on them. For my sake.
So hideously undone thee? Oh, what wrath of gods to make this old grey sepulchre childless of thee! Would God but lay me there to die with thee, my daughter!
Wrath upon wrath, meseems, this day shall fall from God on Jason. He hath earned it all.
Oh, miserable maiden! All my heart is torn for thee, so sudden to depart from thy king's chambers and the light above to darkness. Oh, for the sake of Jason's love.
Women, my mind is clear. I go to slay my children with all speed, and then away. From hence, not wait yet longer till they stand beneath another and an angrier hand to die. Yea, howsoe'er I shield them, die they must. And seeing that they must, 'tis I shall slay them, I, their mother, touched of none beside. Up and get thine armor on, my heart! Why longer tarry we to win our crown of dire inevitable sin? Take up thy sword, oh, poor right hand of mine, thy sword. Then onward to the thin-drawn line where life turns agony. Let there be naught of softness now, and keep thee from that thought, born of thy flesh, thine own beloved. Now, for one brief day, forget thy children. Thou shalt weep thereafter. Though thou slay them, yet sweet were they. I am sore unfortunate.
Oh, earth, our mother! And thou all see your arrowy crown of sunlight manward now. Look down, oh look down!
Look upon one accursed, ere yet in blood she twine her red hands.
Blood that is thine, O son, save her first. She is thy daughter still of thine own golden line.
Save her!
Or shall man spill the life divine?
Give peace, O fire that dies not. Send thy spell to stay her yet and lift her afar, afar.
Torture-changed spirit, a voice of hell, wrought of old wrongs and war.
Alas for the mother's pain.
Wasted!
Alas, the dear life that was born in vain.
Woman!
Woman, what makest thou here? Thou from beyond the gates, where dim Symplegades clash in the dark seas? The shore where death doth wait. Why hast thou on thee to make us desolate? This angry misery and guilt of hate?
Fierce are the smitings back of blood once shed, where love hath been.
God's wrath upon them that kill.
And an anguished earth.
And the wonder of the dead.
Haunting as music still.
Oh, haste thee! Leave this land of Greece in a headlong flight!
Thou bidst me speed my flight. Nay, rather had I fled I should return for this. Strange bridal rites I see. Oh. Why dost thou falter, O my soul? 'Tis well begun. But still, how small a portion of thy just revenge is that which gives thee present joy. Not yet has love been banished from thy maddened heart. If 'tis enough that Jason widowed be, pursue thy vengeful quest to acts as yet unknown, and steal thyself for thee. Away, with every thought and fear of God and man. Too lightly falls the rod that pious hands upbear. Oh, give passion full sway, exhaust thy ancient power, and let the worst thou yet hast done be innocent beside thy present deed. Come, let them know how slight were those that crimes already done. Mere trading they for greater deeds. For what could hands untrained in crime accomplish? Oh, what mattered maiden rage? But now I am Medea! In the bitter school of woe, my powers have ripened. Oh, the bliss of memory. My brother, infant, slain, his limbs asunder rent. My royal father, spoiled of his ancestral realm, and Peleus' guiltless daughters, lured to slay their sire. But here I must not rest! No untrained hand I bring to execute my deeds. But now, by what approach, or by what weapon will thy threat the treacherous foe? Deep hidden in my secret heart, I have conceived a purpose which I dare not utter. I fear that in my foolish madness I have gone too far. I would that children had been born to him of this my hated rival. Still, since she hath gained his heart, his children too are hers. That punishment would be most fitting and deserved. Yes, now I see the final deed of crime, and thou, my soul, must face it. You, who once were called my sons, must pay the penalty of this your father's crime. My heart with horror melts. A numbing chill pervades my limbs, and all my soul is filled with sinking fear. Oh, now wrath gives place, and heedless of my husband's sins, the tender mother instinct quite possesses me. And could I shed my helpless children's blood? Not so. Oh, say not so, my maddened heart. Far from my hand, and thought be that unnameable and hideous deed. What sin have they that shedding of their wretched blood would wash away? Their sin, that Jason is their sire, and deeper guilt that I have borne them. Let them die! They are not mine! They are my own! My sons, and with no spot of guilt, full innocent they are! 'Tis true, my brother, too, was innocent. So, why dost thou hesitate? Why flow these streaming tears? Why with contending thoughts my wavering heart is torn? As when conflicting winds contend in stubborn strife and waves. The stormy waves, pills the sea, invade, and to their lowest sands the briny waters broil. With such a storm my heart is tossed. Hate conquers love, and love puts impious hate to flight. Yield thee grief to love, then come my sons, sole comfort of my heart. Come, cling within your mother's close embrace. Unharmed, your sire may keep you while your mother holds you too. But flight and exile drive me forth. And even now my children must be torn away with tears and cries. then let them die to Jason, since they're lost to me. Once more has hate returned her sway, and passion's fire is hot within my soul. Now fury, as of yore, reseeks her own. Lead on, I follow to the end. I would that I had borne twice 7 sons, the boast of Niobe. But all too barren have I been. Still, with my too sufficient be to satisfy my brother and my sire. But with the hastes, this throng of furies, what their quest, what means their brandished fires? Whom threats this hellish host with horrid bloody brands? I hear the writhing lash resound of serpents huge, whom seeks Megha with her deadly torch, whose shade comes gibbering there with scattered limbs. It is my brother. Revenge he seeks, and we will grant his quest. Then come, within my heart, plunge all your torches, rend me, burn! For lo, my bosom opens to your fury's stroke. Oh, brother, bid these vengeful goddesses depart, and go in peace down to the lowest shades of. And do thou leave me to myself, and let this hand that slew thee with the sword now offer sacrifice unto thy shame.
Mother, what are you doing so? Mother, you are hurting us. Please, let us go.
Oh, did you hear? Heard you the children's cry.
Miserable woman!
What shall I do? What is it? Keep me fast from mother.
I know nothing. Brother! Oh, I think she means to kill us.
What sudden uproar meets my ear? 'Tis corn citizens on my destruction bent. Unto the palace roof I'll mount, and there complete this bloody sacrifice. Do thou come hence with me. But thee, poor senseless corse, within mine arms I'll bear. Now gird thyself, my heart, and with strength. Nor must this deed lose all its just renown, because in secret done, but to the public eye my hand must be approved.
Let me go. I will help, and save them last.
Yes, in God's name, help! Quickly, or we die! She has almost got me now! She has a sword!
Thou stone, thou thing of iron, wilt barely spill with thine hand that life, the vintage stored of thine own agony.
Mother, be more.
One, only one from joy. the Eventide, indigo god man, whom the Queen of Heaven set frenzy, flying to dark.
She cast her for sorrow to the wide salt sea.
Sprung forth those rows of murder unforgiving, wild foot from white crage of shore.
Clasping still her children twain, she died.
Woman, love of woman, charged with sorrow sore. What hast thou brought upon us? What beside resteth to tremble for?
You woman by this doorway clustering speak! Is the doer of this ghastly thing yet here or fled? What hope hath she of flight? Shall the deep yawn to shield her? Shall the height send wings and hide her in the vaulted sky to work red murder on her lords and fly unrecompensed? But let her go. My care is but to save my children, not for her. Let them she wronged requite her as they may. I cannot. 'Tis my sons I must some way save, ere the kinsmen of the dead can win from them the payment of their mother's sin.
Unhappy man, indeed thou knowest not what dark place thou art come to, else, God wot, Jason, no word like these could fall from thee.
What is it? Ha! The woman would kill me.
Thy sons are dead, slain by their mother's hand.
I scarce understand that. Not the children. Oh God! Thou hast broken me!
Think of those twain as things one fair, one that ne'er shall bloom again.
Where did she murder them? In that old room?
Open, and thou shalt see thy children still.
Oh, thralls! Unloose me on the pass! Milk more of speed! Pitch out the turning of the door! And show my 2 edges to get us to the children dead! The woman! Oh, the sword upon her head!
What makes ye at my gates? Why batter ye with brazen bars, seeking the dead? Peace. And thou, if aught of mine thou needest seek, thou never touch of thine shall scathe me more. Out of his firmament, my father's father, the high son, have sent this that shall save me from mine enemies' rage.
Thou living hate! Thou wretched creature upon blood-red murder who didst kill my sons! And make me as the dead, and still canst not take the sunshine from thine eye! And smell the green earth reeking from thy deed of hell! I curse thee! Now, oh, now mine eyes could see that then they were blinded, when from savagery of eastern chambers, from a cruel land to Greece, and home I gathered in mine hand thee, thou incarnate curse, one that betrayed her home, her father. Oh, God. I knew. Oh, God hath laid thy sins on me. I knew they lay a brother murdered on thy hearth that day, when thy first footstep fell on Argo's hull. Argo! My own, my swift and beautiful, that was her first beginning. Then a wife I made her in my house, and she brought to life children. And now for love, for chambering and men's arms, she hath murdered them! A thing not one of all the maids of Greece, not one had dreamed of, whom I spurned and for mine own chose thee, a bride of hate to me and death, tigress, not woman, beast of wilder breath and skill, shrieking o'er the Tuscan sea. Enough! No scorn of mine can reach to thee, such iron is o'er thine eyes. Out from my road, thou crimes begetter, blind with children's blood, and let me weep alone. No wife, no bitter tide that sweepeth Jason's days, no gentle bride to speak with more, no child to look upon whom once I reared. All forever gone.
An easy answer had I to this swell of speech. But Zeus, our father, knoweth well all I for thee have wrought, and thou for me. So let it rest. This thing was not to be. That thou should live a merry life, my bed forgotten, and my heart uncomforted. Thou nor thy princess, nor the king that planned thy marriage, drive Medea from his land, and suffer not! Call me what thing thou please, Tigris or Scylla from the Tuscan seas. My claws have gripped thine heart, and all things shine.
Thou too hast grief, thy pain is fierce as mine.
I love the pain, so thou shalt laugh no more.
Oh, what a womb of sin my children bore!
Sons! Did ye perish for your father's shame?
No! It was not my hand that murdered them!
Was thy false wooings, 'twas thy trampling pride?
Thou hast said it! For thy lust of love they died!
And love to women a slight thing should be.
To women pure! All thy vile life to thee!
Think of thy torment. The death, the death!
No! Quick! Great God, quick curses round thy head!
The gods know who began this work of woe.
Thy heart and all its loathliness they know!
Loathe on! But oh, thy voice, it hurts me sore.
Aye, and thine mind. Wouldst hear me then no more?
How? Show me but the way. 'Tis this I crave.
Give me the dead to weep and make their grave.
Never. Myself will lay them in a still green sepulchre, where Hera by the hill hath precinct holy, that no angry men may break their graves and cast them forth again to evil. So I lay on all this shore of Corinth a high feast forevermore, and write to purge them yearly of the stain of blood. And I, to Pallas plain I go, to dwell beside Pandion's son, Aegeus. For thee, behold, death drive on evil and lonely, like thine heart. The hands of thine old Argo, rotting where she stands, shall smite thy head in twain, and bitter be to the last end thy memories of me.
May they that hear the weeping child blast thee, and they that walk in blood.
Thy broken vows, thy friends beguiled, have shut for thee the ears of God!
Thou art wet with children's tears.
Go thou and lay thy bride to sleep.
Childless I go, to weep and weep.
Oh, not yet! Age cometh, and long years.
Mine own.
Not thine, but mine!
You murdered them!
Yes, to torture thee.
Once let me kiss their lips. Once twine mine eyes and touch. Woe is me!
Wouldst love them and entreat, but now they were as nothing.
At the last, oh God, to touch that tender brow.
Thy words upon the wind are cast.
Thou Zeus wilt hear me. All is said for naught. I am but spurned away and trampled by this tigress, red with children's blood. Yet come on, mate. So far as thou hast granted, yea, so far as yet my strength may stand, I weep upon this dead, and say their last farewell, and raise my hand to all the demons of the air in witness of these things. Oh, she who slew them will not suffer me to gather up my babes, nor head to earth their bodies. Whom, O stone of woman, would I ne'er had known nor gotten to be slain by thee.
Now, hasten not relentless passion, but enjoy a slow revenge. This day is in thy hands, its fertile hours employ.
Oh, take my life, thou heartless one.
Thou bidst me pity. Well, 'tis done. No more atonement, passion can I offer thee. Now hither, lift thy tearful eyes, ungrateful one. Thus recognize thy wife. 'Twas thus of old I fled. The heavens themselves provide me with a safe retreat. Twin serpents bow their necks submissive to the yoke. Now, Father, take thy sons, while I, upon my car, with winged speed am borne and aloft through realms of air.
Speed on through realms of air that mortals never see. But witness heaven, when thou art gone, no gods can be!
Great treasure halls had sewers in heaven.
From whence the man's strange doom be given.
past hope or fear,
And the end men looked for cometh not.
and a path is there when no man thought.
So
hath it
hath it
fallen
fallen here.
Here.